Okay, folks, strap in.
Yeah.
Today, we're diving deep into the world of gladiatorial combat.
Oh, yeah.
And we're not just talking about the Hollywood version. You know, we're going full history nerd here.
Yeah.
We've got a stack of research, articles, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And we're going to be using Gladiator, that awesome movie, you know, as our kind of our visual guide.
Perfect example.
Yeah, perfect example.
Yeah.
So we're going to be looking at the real deal, you know,
Right.
the weapons, the armor, the fighting techniques,
Absolutely.
all that stuff that makes it, well, kind of terrifying, but also super fascinating.
It's a brutal world, but captivating, you know?
Oh, yeah, totally captivating. One thing that always gets me about Gladiator
Yeah.
is that opening battle sequence in Germania.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
It's just so visceral, you know?
Totally. You really feel the chaos.
Right. The clash of swords, the weight of the armor.
The sheer scale of it.
You really feel like you're right there in the middle of it.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting about that scene, and I'm sure you noticed this too, is how they managed to blend that spectacle, you know, with a certain degree of realism.
Yeah. I mean, it's Hollywood, but it feels pretty authentic.
Right, and that's what makes it so compelling.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of struck by just how much more brutal
Oh, yeah.
the real thing must have been. Like, way less balletic, you know?
Absolutely.
More just straight up bone breaking.
You said it.
Yeah. There's this one article you sent, a biomechanical analysis of Roman weaponry,
Right.
and it really drives that point home.
Yeah, they found that even with all the leverage and the weight behind a gladius thrust, penetrating chainmail or thick padding, it was incredibly difficult.
Wow.
So it wasn't about flashy spins or anything like that.
Right.
It was about pure power and precision.
Gosh.
And of course, sheer stamina under that scorching sun.
I mean, can you imagine that heat?
It's hard to even fathom.
Yeah, and the pressure. So less Errol Flynn, more like just brutal, methodical struggle.
Right, exactly. It was a completely different kind of fighting.
Right. Which makes sense when you think about how these guys trained. I mean, they were basically elite athletes, weren't they?
More than that, even. They were specialists.
Really?
Oh, yeah. You had this really interesting historical account in your research
Oh, right, yeah.
about the different types of gladiators. Now, in the film, you see Maximus fighting as a murmillo.
Yeah, the classic gladiator look.
Right, heavily armored, big shield. But did you know that murmillos were often pitted against retiari?
Ricciari.
Yeah, who were lightly armored and used nets and tridents.
Whoa, talk about a mismatch.
It was a fascinating dynamic.
That's crazy. How did that even work?
Well, think of it like a bullfighter and a bull.
Okay.
The retiaris had to be incredibly agile,
Yeah, makes sense.
using his net to entangle the murmillo, keeping him at a distance.
Gotcha.
But one wrong move, and the murmillo could close the distance, and then you've got superior strength and armor coming into play.
Yikes.
Yeah, it was high stakes.
No kidding. Okay, so picture this. You're a Retiarius, right?
Right.
The crowd is roaring. The sun is blazing down. And this absolute mountain of a murmillo is just lumbering towards you.
Oh, man.
Talk about pressure.
That's some intense pressure.
Right. How much of that do you think Gladiator actually captures accurately?
It definitely captures the drama beautifully.
Yeah.
But, you know, film has its limitations.
Right, yeah.
It has to condense things.
Yeah.
Your historical account mentions fights sometimes lasting hours.
No way.
Oh, yeah. A brutal war of attrition under that Italian sun.
Jeez. Imagine the mental fortitude.
Exactly. It wasn't just about physical prowess.
You're telling me. And the armor, too.
Yeah.
In the film, it looks practically invincible.
Right.
But I was reading one of the studies you sent over on Roman armor design.
Yeah.
And it mentions some pretty serious vulnerabilities.
Oh, absolutely.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Roman armor was excellent, no doubt.
Yeah.
But it wasn't some magical force field.
Right.
Take the Murmillo's helmet, for example.
Okay.
Offered great protection from direct blows.
Makes sense.
But the neck and face were somewhat exposed.
Oh, wow.
So a skilled Retiarius might aim for those weak points with his trident,
That was pretty clever.
hoping to end the fight quickly.
Smart. So knowing all of this, how should we watch films like Gladiator then?
That's a good question.
I mean, should we be like nitpicking every move, every piece of armor?
Not at all. Enjoy the spectacle.
Okay, good.
But now you have this deeper layer of understanding
Right.
when you see Maximus battling it out.
Yeah.
You can appreciate that historical echo, the real danger those men faced, and the incredible skill they possessed.
Wow. Yeah, that's a really good point.
It adds a whole new dimension.
It totally does. You've given us a lot to think about.
It's a fascinating topic.
It is. So everyone listening, next time you're watching your favorite historical epic, try to see beyond those awesome special effects.
You did advise?
Imagine the sweat, the strategy, the years of training behind every single clash.
And the stakes.
Oh yeah, the stakes. It might just change how you experience the whole film.
Absolutely.
Totally. Well, this has been an amazing deep dive.
It really has.
Thank you so much for joining me.
My pleasure.
And to all of you listening, thanks for tuning in.
See you next time.